Inheritance is when a new class takes in the elements of an existing previous class and creates an is-a relation. So, for example, let's say this rectangle right here is the class called person. And then let's say we have this rectangle right here, which is a class called student. Now, if we link student to person right here by using inheritance and in Java something called extends, that keyword specifically, and I'll go into more depth into the code later. But if we do use that, then we create something called an is-a relation. And this simply means that the student right over here has this is a relation. So a student is a person, which makes sense. A student is a person. So let's say a person would have qualities like height and let's say age. Well, a student will also have these same qualities. So by using inheritance, the student will also have these things, and the coder wouldn't need to manually put these same things in again. Soon you'll learn that both inheritance and polymorphism go hand in hand, but I've already made a video into polymorphism, but the coding part of this video will show you examples of when you can use polymorphism after learning the basis of inheritance. So in terms of the actual code, I have made an animal class, which we will consider as the parent class, which is basically what we're trying to inherit from. And I have created subclasses, which is dog and cat right here. And these are the ones that will take the attributes of the animal class. Created a test class right over here, and we'll use this kind of to see if these things work. So animal has these three instance variables: height, color, and age. So these are things that all animals have, and I've also made a method called eat. So here I have dog, and I have an extended animal, so I'll do that. So now dog has extended animal, and so it has access to all of these variables and this method. So even though dog has nothing in it, if we call the eat method from dog, we would still have access to it. So here's the tester class, because I have the main method, which is how the program would run. So here I have made an instance variable of the dog class, and I have called the eat method right over here. So if you think about it, if we don't have extends, this is literally just an empty class. But let's try to run this and see what we get. So here you could see we got this, which is exactly what the animal class has in the eat method right over here. So the reason why this happened is, again, as I've said, we have extended animal right over here. So dog has access to everything over here. Now let's say we want to set a default height. Let's say we want to say 15. Here, let's say we should make this probably a string. So let's say these are the default values we want. And here for dog, again, we don't have anything at all. But we could still say, we could still call on, let's say, height. So here, if we print it, we'll get 15. Now again, we're calling the dog method, the dog class, but we haven't actually put anything in the dog class, so this is all coming from the animal class. Again, we call the height, so we have 15 over here. Now ideally we would just have getters and setters, but at this point I'm just showing you the idea of inheriting values from another existing class, as we can see with dog. Now we cannot do this with cat right now because we haven't extended anything. Now if you actually do this, and change this, you can see there is an error right over here because this just doesn't exist, because here we also have an empty class, but it's not extending animal. So this, even though there's nothing here, it actually has access to everything that's an animal, and this, it's just an empty class. It doesn't have access to anything. So if we run this, it's just not going to work. There's just errors. Now again, if we just do extends animal, and let's run this, we would get 15. Now if we're trying to change, so for example here we have height and we're saying 15 is the default, let's say 15, I don't know, centimeters or whatever, I don't know, some value, but we want to say that cats are not 15 and they are 55, then that would be leaning more towards polymorphism, which I have covered in a previous video, which you can check out down below. But with this idea of inheritance, which I have showed today, you will be able to better understand what polymorphism is. And just a quick preview of what polymorphism is basically this: if you each animal would have different eating sounds, so you could use this eat method but change the output that this method would give. So for dog it could be different, and for cat it could be different, but it would still keep the same method called eat. So that's just a quick preview of what inheritance is, and I'll be going over more complex examples in later videos, but this is just a basic to give you a basic understanding of what inheritance is, and so you can better understand polymorphism and other more complex concepts later on. So that's all for today's video. I recommend you check out my other videos that I have on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and stay tuned for future videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.